What's up, y'all? You already know what time it is. We here for Planet of the Apes review. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Let's get right into it. So, first thing you're gonna see is a lot of action. If you're worried about it being slow, do not be worried about it being slow because it is not. It comes out with soldiers, guns. You already see apes on horses. You see a wall, and it's action, flat out the gate. So we're gonna talk about a number of different things. We're gonna talk about character parallels. We're gonna talk about the different characters that's been introduced. We're gonna talk about same characters. We're gonna talk about betrayal. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is we get a closer look into the apes' lives. You can see that there's a bigger volume of apes, younger apes. That is, you can see Caesar go back to the cove. His wife, he has his son. His older son has just come back from a long trip. They were taking a journey, I guess, across the desert. He said he saw some a very good land, also probably called the land of milk and honey, and they want to travel there to get away from the humans. Pretty much the whole objective of the whole movie, or their whole objective through the movie, is going to be to get across the desert. That's what they're trying to do, and that's what they're going to set out to do the next day. Just like in the other movies, our main antagonist is the Colonel, the dude that was in The Walking Dead. I forgot his name. I mean, not The Walking Dead. Zombieland. On his fucking name. Yeah, he's the main antagonist. He been trying to kill him for a long time. He hates Caesar. We don't know why. We'll find out during this movie, and we'll find out that what drives him to hate and anger towards the apes. Both parties don't really know why they don't like each other. I mean, outside forces caused them to have the war. None of them caused the virus, and they're gonna kind of go into depth on the why the colonel is driven so much to kill all the apes. And also, we as the audience, we're forced to sympathize with the character, and we can see why he's so torn in the heart, and why him and Caesar, or Caesar from this point, doesn't care about life. All they care is about survival, and that's what it's about for both sides. It's about surviving. Another thing you gotta realize, both of them are fighting because to what seems to be the end of the world for either race. Both races could be extinct. The humans are dying out fast because of the virus. You see they pick up a little girl at one point in the movie. She has some blood coming down here. She can't speak, and you can kind of see that the humans are reverting back to their primitive stages. It's kind of like what we see in the 1968 version when the dude get on the beach and or he get in the forest, all the humans is acting wild, doing all that shit, acting like beasts, and it's kind of irony because now the roles were reversed. You got apes on horses and hacking intelligence and doing all that, and you got humans acting like the monkeys and the beasts and all that other stuff. Next thing I want to talk about is Caesar. Has he's progressed as a leader, a character, in age, and what I'm saying, he's smarter. I mean, he's always been smart. He's always been a good leader. Of course, we've seen that throughout the movies. He kept the apes together. He led them through and led them through the promised land, led them into the woods, and let the motherfuckers know, hey, we ain't taking shit no more. We killing. Anyways, we're gonna get right to how he was staying hidden. The humans didn't even know Caesar was alive. They was looking for him. They called him and it was like, dang, we didn't even know you was still alive. And the colonel certainly didn't know. Another thing that we see is Caesar, he changes after his son dies and his wife dies. Of course, the colonel kills them and fucks him up. After that he becomes a parallel to Koba. He becomes vengeful, hateful. Killing doesn't seem as hard to him. He has flashbacks of Koba telling him ape not kill ape. The point is, killing gets easier to him. In the past movies, he wasn't, unless he was being attacked, he didn't kill senselessly. He would always try to reason or tell the apes that we are not savages. We are as intelligent as them, and we can act accordingly. And also, he realizes that times is hard and it's the apocalypse, and killing is just necessary. Then of course we see through the movie he does end up getting to a point to where he is in a position to kill the colonel. He can't speak, just like the girl they found, and he can see that he's in a position where he basically gonna die soon. So he got a gun to his head. He can't pull the trigger, and he kind of he goes back to his old morals, and he's back, kind of back to his own self after, hearing the colonel's story about how his son died as well from the virus, and how, he kind of sees that they're not that different. They both are leaders. They're doing everything they can for their people. After they kill the humans or the humans die from a big ass avalanche, you'll see all that. I ain't gonna go in too deep into the story. I'm just trying to give y'all the gist of it. He finds peace with himself. He was stabbed, and he's talking to the orangutan, and they or having a good conversation, he realizes he's about to die. He accepts his death because he finds peace knowing that the apes are safe. That doesn't involve war. He's done that. He's led other apes, a lot of apes, and people have died. So he feels like his work is done, and they can carry on from that point on. Now we're gonna mention some of the theories that I have. I don't know. I wish they would have had post-credit scenes, advancing to, 200 years later, or however long it was, to where we get to see where the apes are, maybe a shrine of Caesar, the books that they wrote about him, and how he was looked at as a divine figure because of what he did for the ape. Maybe if there will be another movie, they said it's a trilogy, so there's only going to be 3. But I think if they do make another movie, it should be, stepping onto the 1968 version. I don't think they really want to step on the toes of that movie, but it would be nice to see a remake of it, showing the humans maybe when the virus break out, going into space, and landing on Earth, realizing that they on the same planet, and seeing the world destroyed. I think that's what's gonna end up. They're gonna probably do a remake, or just fully out, just go into depth on the new culture of the apes. Final thoughts. I think that if this is the final movie, it didn't end horribly. You did get to see a happy ending. You get to see that the Caesar did his deed. Everything that he fought for has paid off in the end. So this movie gets 4.5 Nikons. Yep, 4.5 Nikons. Just because I want to see the post-credit scenes, and they may not make another movie. I wish they would, but we'll have to just see. You never know. Should you go see this movie? Hell yeah.